So you see white lights in this direction, and you see red lights in this direction, and these people are going nowhere fast. Back to you. And back to me. Have you found another place where we could go get, another route? Well, no, why would I do that? This is a great picture here. It scares the shit out of people. Yeah, I know, but we want to know where, there's other routes out of Tampa besides 75. Have you flown over them and checked them out? Again, this is the shot. This is the money shot. This is what we're going to do. Oh, jeez, this is kind of what I heard. It's not what they said. It's what I heard. So, and that was just the pre part of the trip. Now we're into the storm. And all these clowns got to be outside. And two of the biggest idiots, I swear to God, they're standing out there with flashlights showing the palm fronds blowing in the breeze. Look at that, look at that, look at it blow, look at it blow. Dude, I can look out my window and see that. I don't need to sit here and watch TV to see this nonsense, So they had this one idiot standing there with a palm frond in his hand. And he goes, you should have came to me a minute sooner because it was really, really blowing hard. It was like, wee, you guys blew my shot. I was like, oh my God, really? I mean, if you look right behind the guy, you can see trees blowing in the wind, and he's holding the palm frond. It must be between two buildings because he's not getting any wind. And then as he's trying to end his segment, you can see his thumb in the middle of the palm frond, forcing it up and down. Up, there it goes, there it goes. It's like, me and my wife looked at each other and said, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. What were these guys, where'd they go to school? Like I say, junior high and high school could have done a better production than these clowns did. It was actually hilarious. Then we had this phenomenon where the water was sucked out of the bay like 100 yards, just gone, So like, wow, that's pretty cool. People are out there walking around checking it out, and I'm thinking, well, we're supposed to have a 20-foot storm surge. If the water gets sucked out of the bay, what does that mean? Nothing. Do you think any of them would have said something about, well, yeah, we're still going to have a storm surge. It might be 25 feet now. I don't know. And he's like, really? And one guy actually said, because what happened was they had this one girl down in the causeway. So they wanted to make sure there was nothing to block her wind. So they sat her out there in the middle of the causeway with the wind blowing. And you could see there was no water behind her. And the guy in the studio says, yeah, I see there's no water behind you. He turns around, yeah, it's gone. I mean, yeah, it's gone. I mean, it's nothing you see every day. So you think you turn around and say, oh, my God, there's no wind, there's no water back here. And the guy said, well, how far back's the water? Oh, I don't know, maybe about 100 yards. It was nothing new to her. It was like she was at, the parting of the Red Sea with Moses. She's seen this before. We just couldn't believe it. And then they finally go back to the studio, and they're talking to the guy. Well, yeah, the hurricanes, turning the opposite direction and sucking the water out of the bay, and there it is. To me, that was pretty fascinating. It's like, well, I guess maybe that's how the parting of the Red Sea actually happened, because I've never seen the water just disappear like that before. Unless it's like a tsunami. That's kind of what I was waiting for. I was like, well, this 20-foot storm surge, is this going to turn into a tsunami now? What's going on? I didn't get any answers about it at all. Nothing. Didn't say a word. Then, after the storm, more hijinks. The first thing they got to do is run out and look for damage, So this tree fell on this house, and this lady's out there, oh, it's my favorite tree. I didn't want to cut it down because it's my favorite tree. And then they said, okay, we've seen enough of this stupid stuff. So they switched it to Pinellas County has a water treatment plant that over the years with storms has overflowed and poured raw sewage into a sewer treatment plant. It's poured raw sewage into the bay. So they spent who knows how much money to upgrade, millions of dollars to upgrade this thing, So they come out to have a press conference. And I was kind of curious, well, how'd you guys make out, Did you dump any more raw sewage into the bay? How'd you make out? Guy walks up to the mic. No sooner he walks up to the mic, you get this stupid little thing going on. We have a tree that fell on a car. We're breaking away to show you a tree that fell on a car. And that's exactly what they did. They broke away from news, how'd you make out during the storm, to show us a tree that fell on a car. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We just looked at each other, my wife and I just looked at each other. My God, can you get any more stupid than these people are? Ambulance chasers is a nice term to say about it, So, again, at the end of the thing, they could have talked about how to maybe, file an insurance claim, and maybe how to secure your home after it got hit by a tree, or, again, a little more educational than just, this hyper, extensive, panic shit. Oh my God, a tree fell on a car. Was anybody in it? No. Okay, then, so how would they make out at the sewer treatment plant? And I never found out. They never went back and never found out. And we finally just said, we've had enough of this shit. We turned off the TV. So, journalism's dead. I mean, really, when you watch an interview, in the back of your mind, just say to yourself, are they going to ask who, what, when, where, why, and how? I mean, are they going to ask any of those questions, 2 or 3 of the questions? Are they going to ask the questions that you want answered? I've got a friend that does interviews for a produce society. Basically, they go around and check out different areas of the country to see how the produce is going. He interviews the farmers and what have you. And Chip always does a great job. I mean, I've never sat there and said, hey, well, why did you ask him about this? He's always had everything you in your mind, he's always asked. And to me, that's how the reporters should be. I mean, we had a serial killer down here, the Seminole Heights Killer, they called him. He got 4 people. One guy, the last guy that got killed, there was a witness. And the guy, gave them a composite, so they had a composite to go by. Plus they had some grainy video to go by from home surveillance cameras. What does the media do here? They publish the friggin' witness's name and address in the paper. They put it on TV. Are you freaking kidding me? You got a serial killer running around killing people, and the guy's got a witness, and you put his name on TV? Me and Becky looked at each other as, my God, can you be any more stupid and irresponsible? The journalism's dead. It really is. And it doesn't take a college degree to do this job. I'm sorry, it does not. A class in ethics, a class in storytelling, in writing, that's it, pretty much. Who, what, when, where, how, and why. Just normal, inquisitiveness, normal curiosity. It's like you're just having a conversation with your neighbor. Hey, how you doing? Good. Hey, I see you're painting your house. Yeah, what kind of paint you use, How many gallons you use, whatever. I mean, it's just this normal conversation. That's all there is to it. All right, well, I've bent your ear long enough. I just want to let you know what I was thinking about the media and how ridiculous it is. And hopefully from this they'll learn, learn to educate us, inform and educate by asking who, what, when, where, and why. Thank you much, folks. Have a good night.